Hey guys, welcome back to another video on the Inside Spurs channel. I hope we're all well. Hope we're looking forward to a good weekend of sport. I know there's a lot of NFL on, there's a lot of football on, obviously there's a lot of NBA. It's a hell of a weekend and I'm looking forward to basically doing nothing and watching it all. Looking into Spurs right now, obviously sitting here, I'm recording it on the 13th of January. This come out on the 14th of January. We're sitting here right now, basically halfway through January. No moves made in the transfer window, be it in or out. Today, we're going to be having a look at sort of one player that we've kind of been linked to out of the blue. I know there's been chats between the two clubs that he's with and obviously Spurs, but also it's kind of just been out of the blue. And this kind of was similar to what happened in the summer. You'll see obviously on the thumbnail, I'm talking about Leandro Trossard from Brighton. The reason why I'd say that it's quite similar to the summer, obviously Basuma. This deal came out of nowhere. No one really saw the deal coming. It just happened all of a sudden that a deal was agreed and basically a week later he was here. Similar sort of thing, but this is a few steps earlier. With Leandro Trossard, I'll give my opinion on what I think about him, potential move, what the fee would look like sort of thing in a minute. I just want to talk a little bit about the situation that he actually is finding himself in at the moment at Brighton. So if you aren't aware, he's basically had a fallout with De Zerbi, the manager. There's conflicting stories between the two in terms of what De Zerbi says happened and what Trossard's agent said has happened. So basically, just long story short, from De Zerbi himself, he said that Leandro knows very well my opinion. Last session before the Middlesbrough game, when he understood he wasn't playing, he left the session without telling me anything. That isn't good. And on Monday, I spoke with him and explained that I don't like this attitude. Now, it goes in that he goes on a little bit more. Now, coming from his agent, okay, his agent actually says something completely different. He actually says they haven't spoken in about a month. So, one end of the spectrum to the other there in that regard. So, what he said is that Leandro has had a calf injury, adding that the pair hasn't spoken for over a month and believes that a transfer in January would be beneficial for both parties. In terms of this situation, it's clearly gone really south really quickly. I think Trossard, before probably the World Cup, and Alexis McAllister's exploits was probably Brighton's main man. We sit here now, be it a month later, be maybe 2 months later, he's sort of fallen down the pecking order as well behind maybe Matoma. Now, Trossard is a good player. There's no denying that. You're a Belgian international. You start for a team that's in the Premier League week in, week out. He scored quite a few goals this year. He was brilliant against Liverpool at Anfield earlier on the season. Obviously can play Premier League proven, right? His deal, in theory, ends in this summer, sorry. But Brighton have a extension clause that they can activate for that deal to go into the summer of 2024. So think of it as a 1 year deal, an 18-month deal if you really want to be precise. In this instance, when a player is so desperate to leave and he's so abundantly clear, he's not even in Brighton anymore. He's not here. So he's so adamant, I want out. I want to go. You know, we didn't get a deal agreed before I went to the World Cup where, like McAllister had a deal agreed. Basically said Brighton can cash in on him in the summer. They didn't get the deal agreed. He just wants to go now. So I don't know what the situation is there. Did he ask too much money? Did Brighton not offer enough money? What the situation is, I don't know. Nor do I actually care, really. What do I think the fee may look like? With this sort of situation, I think Brighton don't hold power here. And that's the important thing in this situation. He can basically walk for free. You can sign a pre-contract in January next year. So Brighton needs to either cash in now or cash in on the summer. What I would say he would look like value-wise would probably be somewhere, I think if you're cashing in now, you can get somewhere up to 30 million. In the summer, it's probably closer to 20 million. Purely for the fact he's just going to be an absolute problem all through the rest of this season, into next season, if you do not move him on. I had an interesting comment from one of my friends, who's a Spurs fan, and I rate it a lot. He said, would we have looked at this guy if he had 3 years left on his deal? In all honesty, I'd say no. As soon as he said it, it was like a light bulb went off above my head, and I definitely agreed with it, because We wouldn't. You know, it's one of those things that we do actually need a left winger if we're not going to consider Richarlison as that. If we're going to consider Richarlison as the left winger, then it can work. We've got the backup to Son. But then you need a backup to Kane, right? Does Bryan Hill become the backup for the right wing back? Sorry, right wing? I don't think so, if I'm honest. I don't see him, even though Conte's been raving about him, I don't see him being that guy. So you definitely need some reinforcements up in the attacking areas. We're obviously looking for a right wing back. We're looking for a potential centre midfielder, and we're looking for an attacking option. In theory, Trossard would be your attacking option. Maybe Pedro Porro would be your right wing back. He'd be your defensive option there. Last January, we obviously only made 2 deals and it worked out really nicely. This January, I feel like we might need 3, if I'm honest, in all honesty. But we're sitting here Friday, January 13th, and there's just not really anything happening, you know. I know Chelsea are struggling a lot, but Chelsea are making moves and they're playing this. I know, obviously, Felix had a bit of a stinker, but he played the same day. It shows something. Man United, I know it's only weak workhorse, but actually suits their style of play. It benefits them. You know, Liverpool signing Cody Gakpo straight away benefits them. Arsenal are looking at spending quite a bit of chunk of money on this one attacking player because it benefits them. And we're sitting here going, wow, we could do with getting 1 or 2 out the door before we do anything. And I really hate that mentality. You know, we've got players that are too comfortable here as well. Emerson, Doherty, they're very happy to be at Spurs because they're not going to be able to ever get to that standard again. The next move is a step down. We just need to get them gone, in my opinion. But anyway, guys, in regards to Trossard, do I think it's a good move? I think if we can keep it below 25, I don't see the issue. If he's going to cost above 30 million, I probably would stay away. Would he benefit the team? Yes. Does he know the system of a 3-back? Yes. Could he give us that real depth that we need when we've got Moura, who seems to never be fit, obviously, or going soon, and Richarlison gets injured a little bit at the moment, Kulusevski's injured, then yes, it would work. We do need something. But guys, that's the end of the video. Let me know your comments and thoughts about, you know, Trossard, the move, the value. Is it the right thing? Obviously, comment, like, subscribe, bell notification, all that jazz. Anyway, lads, I will see you all very, very soon. Take care.